Alaska has always held a peculiar place in U.S.-Russia relations. Once the territory of the Russian Empire before being sold to the United States in 1867 for $7.2 million, the state has now found itself as the stage for one of the most high-profile and tense meetings of modern times. It was here, at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Anchorage, that Donald Trump met Vladimir Putin, promising either a breakthrough for peace in Ukraine or a confrontation that could reshape the conflict entirely. Trump had threatened in the days leading up to the meeting that he would walk out in just 2 minutes if Putin wasn't serious about pursuing peace. Yet when the two leaders finally came face to face, the tone was far warmer than combative. Red carpet greetings, shared laughter inside the presidential limousine, and even applause from Trump as Putin's plane touched down gave the encounter a striking degree of friendliness. The meeting itself lasted longer than expected. In his 12-minute post-summit statement, Trump called the talks extremely productive, claiming many points were agreed to, though he admitted no progress had been made on the one big one, a reference to a ceasefire in Ukraine. Putin, in his own remarks, expressed vague optimism, but reiterated that Russia's fundamental security concerns and demands must be addressed, leaving little room for meaningful concessions. The summit included both a private 3-on-3 discussion, Trump accompanied by Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and a later gathering originally billed as an expanded lunch meeting. But the more intimate format persisted, followed only by a brief joint appearance in front of a backdrop emblazoned with the words "Pursuing Peace." Notably, Trump refrained from holding the kind of extended press conference for which he is famous, and within an hour both leaders were airborne on their separate flights. Even amid gestures of warmth, Trump made sure to flex America's military muscle. As Putin's delegation arrived in Anchorage, the U.S. Air Force staged a display of F-22 Raptors, stealth fighters stationed in Alaska that represent America's air superiority. It was a subtle reminder that while Trump was extending a diplomatic hand, the U.S. retained overwhelming military leverage if peace talks faltered. The optics of the summit were striking. Putin gained time delaying further sanctions and enjoyed the rare spectacle of being publicly welcomed by an American president despite being a global pariah since the 2022 invasion of Ukraine. For Kyiv, however, the outcome was less dire than feared. Many in Ukraine had worried that Trump might announce a premature peace deal that pressured President Volodymyr Zelensky into accepting Moscow's terms. Instead, Trump pledged to call Zelensky and NATO allies, reassuring European partners that it's ultimately up to them. This marked a shift from Trump's earlier posture, when he promised he could end the war in days, and at times suggested imposing peace on Ukraine. In Anchorage, he appeared more aligned with NATO's cautious approach, even if still warmer to Putin than many allies would prefer. For the future of the Ukraine war, this meeting may represent a pause rather than a turning point. Putin leaves with breathing room, Trump avoids a disastrous concession, and Ukraine gains time to continue resisting without new pressure from Washington. From the sale of Alaska in 1867 to the red carpet arrival of Vladimir Putin in Anchorage in 2025, the irony of history is unavoidable. Land once under Russian rule is now where America confronts Russia's modern ambitions. Trump's Alaska summit revealed warmth, tension, and showmanship, but little real progress toward peace. Whether the images of F-22s cutting through the skies or the backdrop of pursuing peace prove to be symbols of diplomacy or mere theater remains to be seen. What is clear is that the future of the Ukraine war and the fragile balance of global power was once again on full display in a land that once belonged to the very empire America now challenges.